what has been kind of hidden is the gay casting couch. You know, the day I arrived in Hollywood, they told me when I was offered the job at Warner Brothers that you need to know this town is run by a homosexual mafia, and I believe.
Oh my gosh! All right, don't say that. We're gonna wrap it up. No, be careful what you say on Infowars. Even here, I don't. We don't want them coming after us. Thank you.
Just to get spit on and be called Goyim. All right, Dan Vicious. Dan, what's up? Back to Jim.
So guess what? Candace Owen comes out and she lays in to the, Charlie Kirk's organization was TPUSA, Turning Points USA. And listen, she's coming at him both guns blazing. She's not holding back. No punches pulled. Listen to what she has to say to them right now.
I don't know how the executives over at Turning Point USA sleep at night. Okay. I don't know how you can present yourselves as a Christian organization and not be dedicating yourself to the truth. No matter what the cost is, you tell the truth. That's it. Okay. You don't hide it. You don't try to obfuscate it. You don't try to say, well, wait until the memorial event before we start looking into who murdered him. You tell the truth and you tell it immediately. And I don't think they're capable of doing that. And I have an idea as to why that is. I think the same people that were pressuring Charlie are pressuring them. In fact, I know that for a fact. So they might need my help. Okay. I'm going to state this, and I'm going to challenge Turning Point USA executives to issue a very clean statement saying that I'm lying if this is not true. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright. Okay, Charlie was done. He said it explicitly, that he refused to be bullied anymore by the Jewish donors. Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our onstage reunion could happen?
Whoa. Let me just give you a whoa. That's a WHOA exclamation. Whoa.
Well, Candace, we don't know if he caught a bullet to the throat because no autopsy was done.
No, they did do an autopsy, but they're not releasing it. That's what I've read. That's what Grok tells me. But they're not.
There's a recording of a guy saying there was no autopsy. You haven't seen that? I thought she played it.
Oh, maybe she did. So maybe I'm getting conflicting stories, but I was told there wasn't, because it's by law you have to do one.
That's right. That's why it'd be really bad to not do one.
Yeah.
And on the recording of the people taking his body out, it says, see, I don't really trust Grok, by the way. I don't really trust an AI.
I know. But they also, did you know this? They also, I don't want to get off topic, but they didn't take him to the closest hospital with a trauma center. They took him to a faraway hospital that doesn't have the necessary stuff to treat. Did you know that? And that the guy who was the head of that hospital had just been, but anyway, there's lots, so many. Did you know that Kash Patel fired the FBI directors in Utah a couple of weeks before this happened?
No.
So many shady things that happened. But there she is saying that Charlie Kirk had come out and said that he was done with Israel, and it was because of the Jewish donors. And
I saw John saying it was the Mormons and not. No, the Mormons are there, dear, but they're not the.
So he's challenging them. So she's challenging them to deny this. Did this happen? Yes or no? Deny it. I'm saying it happened. So she's got him, and she goes. So hang on. She keeps going.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Let's stop this ditching. Let's stop the dodging. Let's explicitly. I want to hear from Turning Point USA that I'm lying about that. I want you to say no. It was just he was feeling a little bit of pressure. No, I want you to literally answer what I have just said. It either happened or it didn't. I'm either making it all up or it happened exactly as I'm saying. And while we're at it, may I ask, what is the name of the Jewish donor who sponsored the Hamptons weekend? Okay. And to Pastor Rob McCoy, were there any LLCs that you or your son were being paid through that sat outside of Turning Point? I'm asking that question genuinely. Yeah, I'm putting the fire here right at the feet of Turning Point because I am disgusted. I am genuinely disgusted. I am looking around and wondering whether Charlie's entire life was the Truman Show. None of you guys are behaving in the way that you should be behaving, okay? There's no way you are letting these lies fly unless, as I'm hearing, unless it is true that there was a big payday that was on the line. And if Charlie radically stated that he was done with Israel, if Charlie said he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause because of, and I quote, Jewish donors, the behavior of Jewish donors, if he said that, yes or no, well then, I don't know, maybe some people didn't want to take that risk that he was going to become Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, at Turning Point USA with all of those presences.
So she's saying that Charlie Kirk declared that he had to abandon the Israel project because of the pressure he was receiving from Jewish donors. So she's asking TPUSA, yes or no? Did that happen? Did he say that? Yes or no? Okay.
Presence across college campuses. Maybe they didn't want to take a chance. You see, I'm just one person, so it's easy to try to cancel my life and lie on me every second of every day. For Turning Point USA, I think got a little bit bigger than Charlie, and I'm no longer going to allow this lie in this narrative. So answer the questions, yes or no. And I'm going to again challenge you to lie. And if you do lie, I'm going to expose the lies, and I'm going to start dropping videos actually. So that's where I'm at. Enough of the games, enough with trying to allow Israel to wrangle a narrative that you know is not true. Charlie did not die pro-Israel. He did not die for Israel. He did not martyr himself as a friend of Israel. In fact, the friends of Israel were pressuring him really badly, and he was done, and he finally stood up for himself, and I'm proud of that. And I will say this, you know what? Somewhere, Charlie is watching, okay? And I hope he knows that we are reunited, okay? We're on stage right now, and the Jewish donors are very angry about it.
So there you have it. She says that he had broken from Israel. He had proclaimed that he was had to abandon the pro-Israel project, and there was a big payday that was going to be canceled because of it, a big payday. And so it seems like she's implying that the people at Turning Point USA were kind of going along with the donors against Charlie, and that's why they're not saying anything now, because they want that big payday. That's what is that what it sounds like she's saying? Because that's what it sounds like she's saying to me.
Sounds like the classic Pablo Escobar silver or lead dilemma to me.
What's that?
Pablo Escobar goes silver or lead. I could pay you off, or you could die.
Oh.
So when you're more useful to billionaires, it's not just Israel, even though it's definitely Israel. It's not just them. These billionaires can have you killed if you're not doing what they want. You're there to exist to serve them, and you're going to serve them in life or in death, and that's what happened to him.
So now once she has revealed this, I expect we're going to be getting a lot more stories in the news about invading aliens because they got to distract us.
A lot of Unit 8200 fucking fun stories of your Avi Lobes and your, a new meteor is coming to Earth and it might be a ship. I don't know.
How far away do you think we are from Space Force guys dressing up in like alien suits? That's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like to me. We're coming for. That's what.
They've been doing it.
So let me just play the beginning of this one more time, because this what she's alleging is a big deal. She's alleging that the Turning Point USA are abandoning Charlie Kirk or abandoned him. They had abandoned him even before he was killed. And now
we saw it. We reported it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
We reported they're calling him an anti-Semite. They're all piling on him because he had Dave Smith and what's his name on?
Tucker Carlson.
And he had and Charlie Kirk had the most tepid, not radical. Really, I feel bad for being so hard on that dude verbally, because you could see the spot he was in now.
Yes.
It was real bad. And he had the balls to take a stand on something, and that's what they do. And that's what Christ is about, by the way, to answer Fuel's saying.
Yeah. So let's watch a little bit more of this.
I don't know how the executives over at Turning Point USA sleep at night. Okay. I don't know how you can present yourselves as a Christian organization and not be dedicating yourself to the truth. No matter what the cost is, you tell the truth. That's it. Okay. You don't hide it. You don't try to obfuscate it. You don't try to say, well, wait until the memorial event before we start looking into who murdered him. You tell the truth and you tell it immediately. And I don't think they're capable of doing that. And I have an idea as to why that is. I think the same people that were pressuring Charlie.
So she's right off the bat saying that Turning Point USA is not telling the truth about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Right off the bat, she's saying Turning Point USA is not telling the truth. Another way to say that is they're lying. If you're not telling the truth, you're lying about what happened. So here we go.
Are pressuring them. In fact, I know that for a fact. So they might.
So the same Jewish donors that were pressuring Charlie Kirk are pressuring the people at Turning Point USA right now. And she knows that for a fact. That's what she says.
Need my help. Okay. I'm going to state this, and I'm going to challenge Turning Point USA executives to issue a very clean statement saying that I'm lying if this is not true. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright. Okay. Charlie was done. He said it explicitly that he refused to be bullied anymore by the Jewish donors. Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our onstage reunion could happen?
So there you go. So they're trying. I've seen people who are on the board of Turning Point USA try to say that Candace Owens has never been to an event with Turning Point since 2016, which was a lie. She did all the college tours with him except the last one. She did all the. They're very close, and so she's got the inside information. And she says Turning Point USA is lying, not telling the truth. Well, obviously, they seem to be the last people on earth to question the FBI narrative on this, and which is obviously complete garbage. Everybody with a thinking brain says this is garbage. Everybody knows it's garbage. Kash Patel can't hide it in his face. His face gives himself away when he talks about this incident. He's such a bad liar. So she's saying, did 48 hours before he was shot, did he tell Turning Point USA, his Jewish donors, and the rabbi that he was abandoning the Israeli project? Is that true? Did he also say he was going to bring Candace Owens back on tour with him? Is that also true? Or is Candace lying? Why don't you go ahead and release a statement? So this is from yesterday. So I haven't heard if there's a statement. Can you see if there's a Turning Point USA statement? Does Turning Point USA respond to Candace Owens? It's already 7:30 on the East Coast. So this was yesterday. So they've had a whole business day to address this. It's already 5:30 in Phoenix, which is where Turning Point USA, I think, is headquartered. So it's already been a whole business day. Did they respond to her? Because they believe me, she's taking a lot of incoming. She's taking a lot of bad faith smears, slimed, and criticism for just asking obvious questions. Same thing that happened during COVID, for asking obvious questions. You're slimed. You're smeared in the worst way, and it's by people who claim to be politically aligned with her that are smearing her. So
ain't that always the way?
Isn't that always the way? It was the people who claimed to be aligned with me politically, who smeared me like a motherfucker over forced to vote. People who claimed to be for Medicare for all. Then as soon as I had a good idea, they smeared me because it might actually get a vote. And it would embarrass the Democrats. The same thing happened during COVID, right? So the people who are supposed to be politically aligned with me, just like John Fugelsang just said in the previous, that he's always been a critic of Big Pharma. Well, where were those motherfuckers to criticize Big Pharma with me? When I criticized Big Pharma during COVID, I was called a grifter.
He didn't do his own research. This is the thing that blows my mind, is that thing of, well, if you want to make it about COVID, I've moved on from it and I'm talking about a different. No, it's all the same goddamn thing. And Candace, when I hear people trash her, what did she say that's wrong? When she came on this show, Jimmy, and she wrongly said the commies invented concentration camps in the Soviet Union, and I said, no, it was actually Cecil Rhodes who did it in the Boer War, okay? She said a specific thing I disagreed with, and I said, here's the correct thing. I'm the only guy who can do that. Everybody else just smears her.
Right.
I'm the only guy that... I know when she's been wrong. I've seen it, so I'm not like just a Candace Owens lover or something. Tell me what she said that's wrong. I don't want to hear your middle school popular girl gossip. Well, she's got cooties. I want to hear actual shit, you know?
Exactly. That's exactly right, Kurt. Exactly. Hey, you got that's what I asked people to do to me over COVID. I was like, if you have something that you disagree with me on, let's disagree over it. Why can't we disagree over something? Why does it have to be I'm a grifter? Why does it have to be I'm a liar? Why does it have to be I'm anti-science and everything? Why can't we just have a discussion about it? Like we can have a discussion about everything. But nobody wanted to discuss Ukraine war with me. Nobody wanted to discuss COVID with me. Nobody wanted to discuss it. They just wanted to smear me.
I should have asked John.
Hey, if I'm so wrong, wouldn't it be easy to make me out to be wrong? Only one guy who wanted to come on my own show and debate COVID with me, and so thanks to that guy for coming on to debate COVID with me. He was wrong about everything, and he was pro-mandate, and of course now we know the mandates were. Okay, we're getting off topic, so I just want to keep this. So my whole point is, you're right, Kurt. Yeah, Turning Point USA, don't call her a liar. Say what she's wrong about and correct her.
That's how I would handle somebody saying something untrue.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand these people. Well, I do understand they're full of shit.
Yeah.
But I don't understand if you're mad at what she said. I know I get real agitated. I can't even hold it in. But I have very specific things I want to correct. I don't want to just do this stupid thing where you're not in the good group anymore.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Well, that's how it works. That's how social pressure works, right? That's how they're gonna. You don't want to be in the out group, do you? You want to be in the in group. We all agree on COVID. We all agree on Israel. We all agree on Charlie Kirk's assassination. We all agree, right? You don't want to be off the bus, as that virologist said about Dr. Fauci. Well, I knew what he was saying was a lie, but I didn't want to be off the bus, so I went along with the lie. Remember that? I think that was Peter Marks. I love when they say it out loud. I love when they actually say it out loud. He said it right out loud. Yeah, I knew Dr. Fauci was lying, and he told me to lie, and I decided to go along with the lie because I didn't want to be off the bus. And that's so Candace Owens does not give a shit about being on the bus, just like us at this show. We don't care about being on the bus. We care about the truth. And not that I'm always right. If I get something wrong, people correct me. No problem. I was right about everything when it came to COVID. There wasn't a thing I got wrong.
I don't have full faith in Candace Owens, for the record. I mean, I don't know what bus that she's exactly wants to be on, but if she's not saying a lie, okay,
yeah,
then I'm great. If you're telling the truth, keep doing it. I don't give a shit. When you lie, I'll tell you.
So she has inside information that Charlie Kirk rejected Israel for the Israel Project and told the Jewish donors, a rabbi, and the people at Turning Points USA. She told them. Did he tell her that? And that he was going to bring Candace Owens back on. Did he? So Turning Points USA. Now it's up to you. Did he say that or not? Is she a liar? Call her a liar. No statement, right? Did you guys try to find?
I didn't find any statement.
No statement. Isn't that interesting? They didn't come out and call her a liar. Isn't that interesting?
There's enough evidence to invade Iraq. We went to Iraq with less evidence than this.
That's right. We are now bombing boats off of Venezuela with less evidence than this. So, and if you like to hear me make fun of the FBI's handling of the Charlie Kirk situation, come see me Thursday night in Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco, Irvine, California, and we'll be in Sydney, Australia, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Go to Jimmy Dore. Oh, plus we'll be in Burbank, California, the day after Thanksgiving. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
Jimmy, I think it's time to go to Rumble.
I'm going to go to Rumble.
Okay, well, let me pin it right there, folks, for you. Hold on. Getting ready to pin. I know some of you are like, why isn't it already there? Because there's a reason I can't pin it immediately, or Rumble will disconnect. Not Rumble, YouTube.
Paul Offit.
What is it?
The guy's name was Paul Offit.
Oh,
not Peter
look
Marks.
at you, Paul Offit. That is pinned, ladies and gents. There we go. We'll see you at Rumble.